Today, we're going to talk through a bit of a mini update when it comes to these missing Bowman and Topps Chrome baseball cards from 2023. For those of you that have seen these videos, you would have seen me talk about the fact that these cards look like they were backdoored out of Topps/Fanatics back in February of this year, and also don't look like they've made it into products, and also look like they're now getting forged and fake autos put on them prior to selling them and grading them. This is a pretty alarming situation, and there's a few things that I've known about for a few weeks that I want to talk to today on how you guys can sort of, help us try and work out what the heck is going on here. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos, please check them out because you'll need them for context. But, in a quick summary, as I just touched on, these cards look like they were backdoored in February of this year, potentially stolen by the person overseeing the autograph authentications, and has since tried to sell them at various card stores in Arizona, and then has also tried to put some fake autos on there. We've not heard anything on Topps or Fanatics, with regard to this issue, even after Card Pawn shared my post on Instagram, which is pretty concerning. I don't think we're going to get an answer, but there's a few people out there in the community that are sort of trying to do what they can to track this stuff, moving forward. Now, you can see on screen now a Reddit thread. Now, I'm going to put the link for this down in the comments below, or in the description below, I should say. But this is where we need your guys' help, especially if you are collectors of baseball, because what this user is doing, tied in history, as you can see by their name at the top, is trying to track, which parallels are yet to be hit. They want to understand if, in fact, all the ones that are known to be missing are in fact missing, or whether or not there are other ones that are also missing. They want to use this information to try and give awareness within the community so that, if some of these cards start showing up on eBay, to try and avoid them perhaps. Or even if, you see some of these cards with autographs on them, maybe you need to do a little bit more due diligence. Now, he gives a bit of context here as to what he's trying to do. And I think you can help him if you are a fan of collecting baseball cards, because I'm sure it's quite a difficult thing for one man to try and, rectify himself. He essentially talks through the fact that he's using, 130 point as his measuring stick because he wants to try and see if any of these cards are being sold. He's also, looking at things on ComC as well. He gives a few caveats to here as to what he's focusing on and what the key takeaways are. You can sort of read through this in your own time because it's worth a read, to be honest. But it's one of those things that it'll be really good for you guys to take a look at and then, share your thoughts down below. He basically identifies that there's a few players here that have, missing lines, which means they've got missing parallels. There's quite a few, as you can see here. And then he talks to a bit further on, basically saying additionally 21 players have not had either their orange shimmer, or both orange and orange shimmer show up on the market, which are the ones that seem to be the most commonly, thought to be stolen. The thing here that's really important that what this guy has done is he's put together a pretty big spreadsheet. Now, this spreadsheet goes through every single prospect within this set, specifically their autographs, and notes down whether or not he's found them or not on the various auction sites, on the various, Facebook posts, wherever he can find them. He's going to go ahead and put an X next to their names. Now, I'll zoom on this as I'm talking through it, but you can see here that it's quite alarming when you're seeing the number of missing items here, right? And a lot of these tie back to that original video that I put out where we have the imaging of certain cards that went missing back in February. But there's a few players down here like Yainer Fernandez all the way down here, where essentially he's got, his green shimmer, his yellow shimmer, and then also the orange and orange shimmer missing. And they're the ones that are showing up now with these fake autos on there, which is, quite concerning. So the way you can sort of help this guy is to help him keep track of it, right? If you see anything that pops up, this is your opportunity to try and, get some insight, get some information with what could be probably one of the biggest issues we've seen within this industry, within this hobby in the last, few years, to have the risk that you've got a manufacturer knowingly missing autos and missing key inserts from a product, but not communicating that to the buyer and pretending that they're still in there, because that's essentially what it appears to be in this case. That's a big bloody deal. And now the fact that you've also got somebody out there, committing forgery by putting fake autos on these cards and then duping graders that are then going to dupe, the end consumer, the customer who wants to buy that for his collection, is a big bloody deal. This is so alarming, and I've reiterated this a few times in my videos, but this is so alarming that Topps and Fanatics have stayed silent on this situation. I don't understand in what realm that could be seen as something okay to do. It's just utterly insane to me. So long story short, if you're buying these baseball products, which is 2023 Bowman with the chrome inserts, and then also Topps Chrome, which releases, I want to say on the 27th, so another week away. If you're buying those and you're seeing some of these pop up, please come here and let these guys know. Go to this Reddit thread that I'll put down below and let this guy know so you can try and help, solve this problem, because this is an area that we need the community to try and band together and solve, in my opinion. Now, there's a few other people on the thread yourself that you can come here and read where they're sharing their thoughts, and the last post was 12 hours ago. Apologies for the cough. I'm still really sick. But it seems to have stagnated in the last month, and I think we need to try and reinvigorate this, because like I just talked to, this is not something that we can let Topps get away with. This is not something we can let Fanatics get away with. I talked to this in the last video. Again, I'll reiterate myself and repeat myself, and I know you guys get frustrated with that, but this is so incredibly important. Fanatics was meant to come in to try and, improve this hobby, right? They were meant to come in to try and, bring some substance, bring some respect back to what, Panini was doing over the last few years, where they're basically giving us a complete shit show when it came to things like QC, parallel printing, overprinting, all this sort of stuff, right? The crap they're doing with patches, the crap they're doing with stickers, the crap they're doing with redemptions. Fanatics came in and sort of promised the world. And yet, they've been pretty established now with Topps. I think they've been bought out for now 18 months, I want to say. Maybe it's a little bit less. But you've had an issue come up that is so incredibly major, and you've gone down the same path that, the hobby has historically gone down by remaining silent. You're meant to be this new, profound business that's meant to make the process so much better. You're meant to be so much more transparent. You're meant to bring innovation. Yet in this instance, you're being silent. If this does get found out to be 100% confirmed that they've, left things out of the product and not told anyone, that's a big bloody deal. That's going to have them facing litigation in some capacity. They might get away with saying they don't put out a formal checklist, so there's nothing to hold them against. But if there's cards out there, in the public, realm where people are, committing forgery and committing fraud by selling these things and doing this all sort of stuff, and they're remaining silent by not telling the graders, by not telling the customer, that's insanely bad, right? I can't express how crazy that actually is and how much, it exposes them as a business. And we really need people to be jumping up and down about this. I'm shocked that there's not more people talking about this. I was incredibly thankful that Card Porn shared my reel on the topic. And if you haven't seen it, check it out on Instagram, because it was straight to the point and explained the issues at hand. We've had 2 autos now with forged autos apparently on them. And I'm sure there's many, many more out there that people have bought that don't actually know. We need the hobby to be talking about this. Nobody else is talking about this. I saw Neo Cards and Comics talk about it the other day, which was fantastic. But this is the kind of thing that people should be freaking out about, and they're not. And I don't get it. I know people are going to say, well, nobody really cares. They're still going to go ahead and buy the product. But when people say, my content is negative and they're going to ignore it and all this sort of stuff, something like this is, so freaking crazy that nobody's speaking about it. So please speak up about it if you see it. Start asking the question of your other content creators to talk about this. We need this to be front of mind. If you're buying this product, please check out that Reddit thread and try and participate where you can. Go comment on Blowout. Go comment on the hobby boards. We need people to be talking about it. This is not something that can sort of slip through the cracks and this business get away with, because like I just touched on, they're new, they're coming in, they're meant to be the innovators, they've let us down so far. But if they get away with it, if they're not held accountable, what do you think is going to happen in the future? They're going to keep doing the same sort of thing, because it'll tell them that the customer market and the market as a whole don't really give a damn. And that's not a place we want to be in as collectors. So that's my mini rant there. I'm still really sick, guys, so please just bear with me. Again, if my voice sounded a bit funny, I want to show you one pickup that I got in the last week or so. I don't think I've shown this yet. This is a Flawless Soccer 2015-16. It is a Willian International Icons. Let's see if this loads. Gold, 5 of 10. Bit hard to see. You can see a better photo on my Instagram, but Flawless Soccer is a phenomenal set. I'm trying to buy a heck of a lot more of it now that I can actually afford it. When I really wanted it when it released, I was a poor uni student, so I couldn't afford it. But now some of these orders and things like that are really cheap and they're really fantastic. It's the only year they did it, so I'm going to try and buy up wherever I can. If you want to see more of my pickups, check out my Instagram. I have a video coming with some more pickups in the next, I want to say, 2 to 3 weeks. For those of you that are unaware, I use Ship My Cards to get, all my purchases in the States. That's basically a mail forwarding service where they hold all my stuff and then I ship it home every few months, which is why you don't see too many pickups on my channel. It's not because I don't collect cards. You can clearly see I collect everything, right? So I am a collector, but you just got to bear with me when it comes to pickups. It's going to be a 3 to 4 times a year kind of thing for some of these bigger purchases, right? Because I can save so much money in the States. That's sort of it for today. I hope you liked the video. Please share your thoughts. Please check out that Reddit thread. Please check out and put pressure on some of these content creators to start talking about this, because this is not something that we can, let slide. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.